Hello, thanks for stopping by. I would like to give you a little overview of my Head TE-3600 professional grade stringing machine. This is the current model out from Head. There was a TE-3300 model from some years back, and this one I got shortly after it got released in 2022. Some cosmetic differences between that one and this one are the first model had silver support arms and silver base clamps, whereas for this model, the update, these got a sleek black makeover, which look nice. I'll break this video into a few sections. First, giving you an overview of the machine assembly and its pieces, its stand, the turntable, the user interface, and some pros and cons. First, it's basically assembled in 4 pieces. You got the base, the stand, the whole tension head unit, which is that, and then the turntable. The stand is a manual crank adjustment, which I personally don't mind. It keeps it light and it goes up and down very smooth and fast, so no problems there. It's adjusted with this lever here, but you can take off like I just did, or you can leave it in. I just leave it in, but in this up position. Sometimes string gets caught in there, but it's all right. After that's on, you mount the tension head unit onto the stand with some screws. The power cord runs up underneath the base, in through the stand, and you connect it to the tension head unit underneath here. Next, we'll look at the turntable. I really like the turntable. Very sleek, smooth, quiet. The base clamps are very sweet. They're very quiet, which I appreciate a lot because the last machine I had, the base clamps were super loud. So I appreciate that when I'm stringing during the day or late at night. The towers are adjustable, which is also very appreciated. There's a switch right here. You just kind of click in, you can move it. What's also cool is on the table here itself, next to it, you can see where it says badminton and tennis. All the way back, that would be like your oversized frames, right? Your weed racket, 110, 115, 120 plus size tennis rackets. Also racquetball rackets, because they have very big, large head sizes. As you go up a little bit more here, that's probably like in your mid-plus range. This will probably be like your mid-range, and then your badminton zone. So that's really handy, and I really appreciate that a lot. My last machine also did not have that feature, so that's nice. Also, each tower has a logo for throat and head, so that way you're mounting your rackets consistently on each, or the same side rather, every time. So that's good. Let's see what else. Aside from that, I think that's kind of it for the turntable. Next here, let's look at the tension head unit itself. Let's go ahead and fire it up. Let me move this out of the way. Power button's over here on the side. Leave this pad here because I have too many tools. All right. So the tension head unit, you probably noticed there is no Diablo. It has a self-leveling head puller, which is cool. That way when you're pulling tension, it extends up and it actually always pulls level with the head of the racket that you're stringing. So it's pretty nifty. The user interface, very simple. Has everything you need though right at your fingertips. So when you want to adjust tension, you have up and down in tenths of a pound, or you can do kilograms too if you wish, but I always do pounds because here in the United States and most people do pounds. You have your knot function, 10, 15, 20. So I usually leave it at 10. Depending on the poundage though and the frame, but usually it's 10. You have your pre-stretch function, which goes all the way up to 20, I believe. Yep, 20. So very handy for natural gut and those very soft, elastic multi-filament strings. You can adjust the speed of the tension pull, low, medium, and high. So usually I leave it on medium. Even though it was at high, I was experimenting with high to see if it really made a difference or not, but I don't think it really does. Pounds or kilograms, like I just said. The brake is electronic. So right now it's on manual mode. When you want to turn it on, you just hit the button and it stops and it locks in place. So that's very cool. There's, no lever here like my last machine, or even on some of those Gamma machines, it's like right here underneath the table. So it's nice to just have a little button to push. So I'll turn that off and then it's back to freely spinning again. It also has an automatic brake function. So if I hold this button down, you see it goes to auto. So now whenever you pull tension and it's going, the turntable is going to lock. And then as soon as it's done, then it automatically releases the brake from the table. So that's very handy for doing those Prince rackets with the holes in them, the old port holes and the XO3 holes. Let's see, so that's the brake. There's a mode button that goes from tennis to badminton. That's just kind of a quick shortcut way to jump up and down in pounds. So when you're in the badminton zone, like I just was in tennis mode at 50, if you're wanting to just jump down to a low tension range, instead of holding the button down and going all the way to 22, you just hold this and then it just kind of jumps down to 22. So that's kind of a shortcut. And then if I hold it and I want to go back to tennis, I'm going to do a tennis racket, it'll save you a little bit of time and go to 50. And then the last button here is just a mute. So that's it. Usually I'm on mute because I string at home and I don't want to be disturbing anybody. Let's see, what else? The tension head unit as well. Area for tools. There's a two awl holder spaces right here, which is cool. I got the fine point Allen here and my setting off awl. Up here in the manual, it says this little slot was for an iPad. But I don't obviously do that. I just put more tools up here. Here's my bridge starting clamp. Oops, there it goes. Cutting pliers. I have another fine awl in there for some smaller rackets. The tool trays below, it kind of flips out like this. So when you're not stringing, you can kind of tuck it away like that and it stays hidden. I would kind of like this to be a little bit bigger. I mean, I don't need all this crap in here anyway, but I just throw them in here. But it's enough room for all the tools you need if you use this and then kind of do what I did up here. I kind of just leave a pad up here with some other things and you have your awls. So it's more than enough space. I would wish it had a little bit more space, but that's just me. Grab my clamp here. All right, so that's that. A lot of pros. Well, one little con, because of the tension puller raising all the time when you are gonna string. Let's say I'll mount a racket here. The only time that really kind of becomes a little bit of a nuisance is when the main start in the throat and I want to do a double pull for the Yusuke method. This comes up and hits the handle. So I kind of have to pull it at an angle in order to get that first pull going, which kind of looks a little bit awkward. But then after that, it's kind of fine. So that's the only slight con, I guess, with that. But other than that, though, it is pretty cool that it raises up and you don't have to worry about wrapping the string around a Diablo or cutting a little bit extra string to do that. Let's see, what else? I think that's about it. So there it is. It does come with some tools and this cool stringing bag. I put a lot of it out, or I moved a lot of it out already. Some of the stuff is still even in here. I got some cutting pliers, string bed cutters that I don't use because I have a few already. Of course, it came with lots of different pieces and different shoulder mounts. A few upgrades I did. Normally these aren't red. They're black pieces, but I found some red ones because if you may or may not have noticed, this machine might look similar to some other brand machines out there, or if you even have one, you might say, hey, that looks like my machine. But that's because the manufacturer who makes this machine makes a few different variants for some other brands. So these red pieces were from another brand, and as well as this clamp. This clamp does not come with this machine stock. I bought these separately because I knew they would fit, because it's another one of these sibling machines. So these are from the Prince P7000. So I really like these wide 4-tooth clamps for doing tennis strings. They really hold well, and they do a good job. The clamps that this machine came with are a slimmer 5-tooth, and they are universal. So if you want to do tennis and badminton, you can adjust it. It adjusts pretty well for tennis and badminton. It does a wide range of gauge thicknesses. So when I'm doing badminton, I'll use these clamps. Tennis and mainly tennis I'll use these, and then racquetball and squash I'll mostly use these too if it's a tight string pattern or if it's a smaller frame. All right, now what else? It comes with a cover, which is good. You want to protect your machine from dust and gunk. This machine is also modular, which I really like. So you don't have to use the stand in order for it to work. As you can see here, there's a nub. There's one here, one there. If you take the tray off, you can put another one on either side, or both sides rather, on this end of the machine. So that way you can just use this whole top part as a tabletop machine. And you can just plug in the power cord directly right here. So if you need to take it somewhere in a pinch, or if you can do a tournament, you don't need to lug around the base and the stand. If you know that there's a adequate table that you can just kind of plop this on and string there on site. You can take it back home easily as well if you need to do some rackets overnight, or just when you're done with the tournament and you want to just take it home. So that's nice, appreciate that. What else? It's a good machine. There's a USB port there that I haven't used. I guess, if you're stringing at a tournament and you want to have your phone charging or something, that could come in handy, or maybe a light, a USB light. Other than that, that's it. If any other questions on it, let me know. I'll get back to you when I can. Also stay tuned and subscribe if you would like. I do a lot of tennis, racquetball, squash, badminton, I do it all. Here's my string collection. Some rackets here. 03 Phantom from a couple years back. This has a Tourline, Toro, and restring sync. We got the latest Technifiber NS, Carboflex, X-Top V2. Some racquetball. So yeah, we do them all. I don't know how often I'll post content out there, but if you want to see some of these frames strung up and have any questions, go ahead and feel free to give a like and subscribe. And I think that'll be it for now. Thanks for stopping by.